Okay, so before we do our 3 o'clock rundown, I just wanted to go through this mana trade real quick because that's kind of the reason why I haven't done anything in the last. Why I haven't done my Bitcoin report yet in the last 13 minutes because I was managing this trade. So basically, what we were looking at is on the M15, we kind of had a break in the structure, nice pump, and then of course putting in a second leg down. I saw this kind of forming. We had kind of an attempt by bulls to stop it, and then yet another attempt by bulls to stop it after this outside down bar. When you have an outside down bar like this is really not the follow through that you want to see. Um, excuse me. So I was thinking, especially after this nice rounded-ish bottom, like we had a nice strong bounce from here to take a new high. The market structure on the higher time frame looking kind of decent to possibly take a shot at, possibly take a shot at $4, but that's not, it's a little too early for that, in my opinion, to be thinking about that. But we were just kind of looking at, we have a push down in two legs, and maybe let's try and see if we can catch a bounce here. I think possibly we were looking on lower time frame, kind of like taking this trend line, broke here, and then kind of tried to put in a lower low, and then kind of have one push, two push in this region, and a third push down, and then kind of have this little pump here. So I was waiting patiently. We had this, and then this bar came in nicely. I thought this was a really nice bar, and I kind of wanted to put in a buy maybe above it. And let me see, where was that? 298. 298 somewhere. Yes, this is where I started looking at the chart, right around here. I'm actually just going to put a line on it so that we can see it from higher time frame as well. This is where I started looking at the chart, and at this time we had this strong red bar put in, and this was currently building a red bar. It was rejecting, and at the very last second it shot up to a nice close here. I think on the 3-minute chart as well, it was looking, on the 3-minute chart, it was looking like we had this outside down bar, and so maybe we want to wait and see if we can get a bit of a pullback into this maybe 295 area, because my stop was just going to be underneath here, 291. But it just ended up pumping right above it, and so I ended up buying my little lot around here between 299.50 and 3.005. So that's where I picked up my bag, and we initially had my initial profit target. This was what it was looking like. We'd buy around here, around, let's just say let's just say exactly $3. It wasn't quite $3, but something like that. Initially, the stop is all the way down here, and my profit target was probably around, this 312-ish region. I wanted to just put it in underneath these lower highs, underneath these swing highs, just in case, we don't get any strong pump like we're getting right now. So I put majority of my clothes up here, and then I put some of my clothes in this kind of 309 area, just in case, there was some sort of funkiness happening in this region with this wick, especially. Like, it's not super meaningful, but certainly there are some bulls who tried to get in on this wick as we broke above here, and when it closes outside down, they might be looking to get exit exit break even when we get back to this level. So I thought we might have possibly a little bit of a, at this point, 3% is good. I'm not really looking for huge home runs. So I put the trade in like this. When the 15-minute candle, I just kind of waited. It was looking good. We kept pumping through here. This was a good signal here. I'm going to delete this now, okay, because we know where we're going. This was a good bar here, this inside bar, to take us to a new high. When we kind of got towards this area and we put in this big outside down bar, I figured it's probably pretty likely that we're going to take another shot, at least at this area. So I moved some of my close into this area around 305, 3.057, I believe it was. And we ended up, and then I went to take a shower because I was like, it's fine. My stops are good here. I moved my stop up to be below this bar. So my stop ended up being underneath this bar, 295, because I was pretty certain that, if when we print this type of a signal, this pretty strong buy signal, these three bars in quick succession, like if we break underneath this bar, the buy signal is like I would not be confident in that buy signal anymore. So I thought it was pretty fine to move it up from underneath this bar. Underneath, I mean, I think I put it underneath this bar because they're basically the same here. This was like a penny difference between these two. So initially it was under here. I moved it up here. It made a lot of sense to me. And I came back, and when I came back, it was right around this 3 p.m. from my shower. And we were right around my entry. I thought about adding more, but I thought, maybe let's wait to see if we get a deeper dip down to 295. By the way, I didn't get full size on this position because even when I entered initially, I was like, let's see if we get a better dip down to 295, 296. And again, I had the same feeling here. This I saw this candle come in at 3 o'clock. It looked pretty decent, but I was like, yeah, we have four sideways bars here. Who knows? Maybe we like kind of do a little something, something, and then kind of collapse back down to 295, 296, and I'll try and add more there. And if not, it's fine. We'll just do what we do. So we come back up here. We get our close on 305 for I want to say 1/4 of the position, and we keep marching. When we get into this area, starting to see some, when we get this bar especially, I moved everything down to 309, like 309.50, 309.8. Because at this point, I have a great profit here, about 3% almost on 3/4 of my position. And I didn't really know what to do with my stop. Obviously, I'm not going to keep my stop all the way down here when we're at a place where I think is reasonable to take some profit. And with the strength of this candle, I didn't really want to risk. Like now we had 309 was available to us at the high of this candle, 309.50. At this point, the 309 is available to us, and if we close underneath this, this is 1%, and our target was at like 312.14 or something like that. So the risk to reward just doesn't make sense anymore. You see what I'm saying? And I'm certainly not going to keep this open with a stop all the way down here when my entry is like, I mean, at this point, having taken some profit, like our entry is like maybe 298 or something like that. I'm not really sure. I wasn't paying attention to that, but certainly I'm not going to risk all of this. I'm not going to risk all of this profit just to make, 3 more cents on each thing. So I take the close in this region. Obviously, we pump up a little bit higher. I'm not bothered by that at all. And now we just look to get into a new trade, possibly. With this little double top potentially forming here, I'm probably going to chill for a little bit, maybe wait for a pullback. Maybe we get another pullback into this $3 region and then kind of take another shot above this, breaking above this. But this is a super strong candle, right? We just not particularly voluminous, but that's okay. It's really, really strong push up, such that if we get above here, I would think that we're probably going to take a shot again at these 340 regions. So I'm probably going to be looking for that. Still bouncing off of this, right? Double bottom, bull flag. So, when you get a double bottom bull flag like this, usually pretty reasonable that we're going to take a shot towards the high and not just towards the midpoint. But of course, now we have a double top, potentially bear flag. So we have to be careful about this and see how things go. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm going to do the Bitcoin now.